to get started.
I'm so excited. Sitting up here, Kid Magic. Shots out. Here we go.
Drink your water. Drink your water. Come on. Drink your water, but first, take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Take your breath and drink some water. Take your breath. Drink. Or should I say, breathe, then drink. Now, grab your glass with some water.
Grab your glass.
Lift your pitcher of that water.
Or bottle.
Get that pitcher of that water. Simply pour some water. Drink. Or should I say, lift, pour, then drink. Now move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water.
Move your body.
Move your body and drink some water. Just move your body. Drink. Or should I say, move, then drink.
Move your body.
Now raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Raise your glass and toast your ancestors, fam. Just raise your glass. Drink. Or should I say, raise, toast, then drink. Take your breath and drink some water.
Take your breath.
Lift and pour yourself some water. Move your body, drink some water.
Move it.
Raise your glass and toast your ancestors. Breathe, lift, move, toast. But remember to stay healthy. The four pillars. Breathe, drink, eat, move. Drink half your weight in ounces.
Eat according to the appropriate diet.
Take your breath.
Come on.
Lift and pour.
You can do it.
Move your body.
Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink up.
Come on, drink it. Come on. You can do it. Come on. Lift it, drink it. Come on. Drink that health in.
Drink.
Drink your water.
Take your breath. Lift and pour. Move your body.
Come on.
Toast your ancestors. Drink. Drink your water.
Come on.
Drink your water. Take your breath. Lift and pour.
Come on, pour it.
Move your body. Come on. Toast your ancestors. Drink.
What?
Drink your water. Drink. Drink your water. Family, and it's a great time to be drinking the water. We are in the midst of a season change. It is changing from summer to fall, and we are officially in fall. And family, I want to say a great week of Kuumba. I want to wish a great week of Kuumba onto you. I want you to demand that this is going to be a great week of Kuumba. We are in the week of Kuumba, in the year of Kuumba, right? In the 6th cycle. We are about to move into the final cycle of this year, and then we're going to take a break at Gye-Nyame Journey, and we're going to be restarting. I'm going to get all the dates and stuff for y'all, right? We up here working on this e-course. We got another e-course that we're putting out called the Next Level e-course. Of course, those that already know, y'all already seen it. We got the Nguza Saba Challenge e-course out. You go and check it out. Go to freegnjecourse.com and you go through the free e-course and get an introduction. And then if you want to go deeper, you could join us on the journey with that Nguza Saba Challenge, where we are going to be working with you for 49 days straight. Oh, we ain't playing. Oh, we ain't playing. But anime, if you would, baby, please, first off, I need to let you know that you are now listening to GNJ.Media. I'm your host, Brother Hatim. Of course, you know this is the heart of some production all day, every day. We don't do nothing but strive to blow up your old paradigm. What we do around these parts, man. Oh man. And once again, I want to wish everybody a great week of Kuumba. I see I'm draped in the Kuumba College family. Get your daily toaster shirt, get your hoodies, get your long sleeve shirts. I got the long sleeve, I got the short sleeve on. Get your hoodies, your hats. We doing it here over here at Gye-Nyame Journey. Now, the next batch of daily toaster shirts that's coming out will be produced by members of GNJ.Media. Man, is there a round of applause somewhere around here I could get? We out here working, family. We out here working, we building. We doing it. So now, it's time for us to get to what you came here for. It's time for us to do this toast. So let me go on and get this toast popping off for you. There we go. There we go. All right. So first off, we want to give honor to the creator by whatever name you choose to call this creator. We lift up our glass, we salute that creator, and we say, shit. Thank you, Anime, for being on point. All right. From there, family, where we going to move to? We're going to move, of course, to our personal ancestors. That's what we do. Lifting up our ancestors. This is why we're here. Lifting up our ancestors. And we're going to say, we want to send out. Shouts out to Miles Brown, Ms. Ann, Robert Texander, Davis, Hunter Brown, Singh, Rosalie, Tilly, Georgia, William, Walter, Chris, Fanny, Gaston, Lean, Uncle Chris, Fiend, Cleveland, Geneva, Brown, Margaret, Ellis, Wash Ellis, Cecil Ellis, Alvaro Brown, Gina Gaines, Herman Brown, II, Barbara Twigs, Wash Ellis Jr., Katie Ellis, Nikki Ellis, Jamon Jones, Jeremiah Tappan, John Fallard, Montague Pittman, Normal X, Tepet Mont Rob, Malik Kapoor, Dr. Marion Williams, Coach Kamal, The Farmer, Elder Millie Dix, Tony Clark, Pastor Yusuf Weston, Elder Ajani, Elder Ron Coleman, Elder Robert Donaldson, Alfred Broford, Hector Jr., Jay Edwards, Carl R. Harris, Grace Lundy, Inez Harris, William Bill Moss, Phyllis Rose, Sterling Lucy Wright, Derek L. Pulling Luxor Brother, Miss Ida Brooks Crawley, Miss Marie Nelson, Mr. Frederick Crawley Sr., Miss Jerry Brunson, Mr. Lance Johnson, Miss Marie McDowell, Janice Foster, Charles Jordan, Kill Smith, Walter Smith, Richard Triggs, Francis Johnson, Mary Franklin, Jimmy Williams, Daniel Ford, George Gibson, Nana Loretta Clark, Inez McCrae, Chris Clark, Frankie Justice, Katie Justice, Derek Renneman, Virginia Rogers, Reverend James Smith, Lois Henderson, Calvin Spratling, Mary Elizabeth Walker, Raymond Walker Sr., Sarah Jane Carter, Michael Ford Jr., Kennedy Russell, Susie B. Smith, Teresa Clay, Melville Hodge, Meldale Hodge Jr., Herman Copeland, Mildred Copeland, Jenny Clay, Bert Beatty, Sarah Weller, the Farmer, Aunt Sue, Shell Harvey, Aunt Charmaine, Aunt Evelyn, Theodis Hasbury, Harvey Hasbury Sr., Leonard Dickinson, T.C. Islam, Terrell Dunbar, Will Thomas, Sarah Berry, Mark Walsh, Merle B. Thornton, Pearl G. Thornton, Addie Johnson, Florence M. Carter, Joanne Thornton, Erica Tricia Lewis, Juanita Wright, Robert Wright, George Wright, Mary Eliza Frederick Davis, Mary Elizabeth Rogers, May Esther Keishla Reese, Linda Watson Hammond, Joel Giles Watson, Sparrow, Slimmy, Seven Lewis, Andrew Holmes, Percy Moore, Mildred Owens, Booker T. Bowden, Charlie Hunt, Sammy Stover, Heather Pearson, Surgeon Thornton, Richard Thornton, Davina Hall, Freeman Bankster, Mary Moss, Ophelia Peacock, Willie Thornton, Napoleon Kenty, Mark Ramsey, Paul Ramsey, Matt Ramsey, David Ramsey, Charles E. Thornton, Frankie Quills, Urania Thornton, Bernice Quills, Ernestine Jackson, Frankie Johnson, Teresa Warman, Leon Johnson, Charles Bell, Vivian Ramsey, S.C. Johnson, Darita Johnson, Leon Johnson, James W. Wood Sr., James Parham, Dana Jones, Henry Royal, James Farmer, Mary Chavez, Leon Grace, Bessie Johnson, Allie Levester, Mary Moreland, Paul Moreland, Elder Caleb, Rosemary Martineer, Elder Amatet Wellman, Fred Douglas Triggs Sr., Thelma Triggs, Thomas Alula Berry, Lacey Ellen Ohio, Franklin Russell Davis, Fred Douglas Triggs II, Peter Triggs, Reverend Eddie Moore, Helen Fuller, Eugene Jackson Sr., Richard Ellis, Alex Alexander, Charles Maxwell, Percy May Alexander, Arthur Reynolds, Stanley Lockhart, Ricky Lockhart, William Lockhart, Woodrow Lockhart, Brenda Porter, Deacon Hargrove, Carlos Sawyer, Andrew Parker, Doris Donald, Ez Murphy, Tamika Russ, Steve Minez, Jean Ruth Jones, Jana Callahan. We have William Walter West, Nigel Parrish, Elder Basiji Fulani, Jim Robinson, Gladys Johnson, Valerie Clark, John and Mary Sullivan, Dirk Johnson, Antonio Johnson, Elise Waters, DeFrida Science, Anna's Bostic, Anna Bostic, Winifred Scattenberry, Wilson Haley, Emma Hines, Phyllis Lee, Eugene Spradling, Kevin Spradling, Charles Wooden, Penny Brown, Roy Lee Printup Jr., Miriam Johnson, Wilbur Longmire, Ida Candy, Janice Carter, Michael Carter, Leon Peanut Carter, Margaret Carter, William Carter, Lisa Jordan, Charles Lee Mosley, Dorothy R. Blair, Ransom Evans Sr., Sam Evans Sr., Nayline Blair Sr., Edward Stevens, Swan Stevens, Joe Davis, Timothy Butler, Gene Holmes, Dana Jones, Peter Charles, Christy Nichols, Cardinal Robinson, Rosemary Charles, Ada Pearl, Bob Ingalls, Jack Wallace, Warren M. Finch, Warren P. Finch, Tim Ingalls, Audrey Finch, William Billingsley Jr., Jennifer Sensabaugh, Hazel Gasson, Jerry Brantley, Brian Watson Jr., Kaniko Parsons, Jason Kathy Bradford, Thomas Bradley, also known as Uncle Pookie, also known as Gypsy. We got Reverend Roosevelt Word I, Sage Trash, Frank Smith, Mother Bertha, Michael Leonard, Dave Brown, Ruth Carter, June Cox, Ruth Cox, Paula Cox, Ronald Urban, Judy Hubbard, Irene Johnson, Francis Booth Jefferson, Dan Wilkinson Sr., Emma McClendon, Jerry Doyle, Amina Robinson, Mary Nichols, Patricia Williams, Shabaka Teray, Greg G2 Gibson, Donnie Hill, Richard Gleavis, Lee Irby, Tommy Irby, Boy Irby, Jim Gaucher, George and Hallie Johnson, Archie and Margaret Armstead, Dan Scott, Erica Armstrong, Claire Fox, Gene Evans, Archie Beck, Anna McGill, Charles McDaniel, Christine Cottrell, Aunt Becca, Ellis Arnold, Arthur Arnold, Hattie Reed, Charles Reed, Eula and Andrew Baker, Patricia and Edwin Brooks, William and Bob Hatch, Kimball Vernon, Bradley Kim, J.D. Harry Tubman Case, Mr. Sturgis, Sally Mae Baker, Ethel Baker, Creola Baker, Geneva Baker, Aaron Nino Baby Hatch, as Senior, Riley Miller, Halsey Hatch, Dad Cleveland, Mother Gibson, Alex Nixon, John Bowie, Lester and Rachel Saunders, Dorita Ross, Riola Ross, Robert Nelson, Prince Stevenson, Leroy Stokes, Lily Johnson, Fletcher Swan, Maddie and Charlie Scott, Ida Casey, Thomas Cooper, Vivian Stevenson, Mona Ann Lewis, Cornetta Lyman Lewis, John Jackson, William Dallas Lewis, Mary Francis, Chappelle Jackson, Michael Slade, John Perkins, Richard Jackson, Martha Ford Dawson, Big Mama, Nanny Harris, Eva Ford, James Hairston, Margaret Towns, Mary Williams, Leroy Q. Heath Sr., Albert Moore, Miss Vanilla, Alice Motley, Geraldine Elizabeth, Douglas Thompson, Erton Houston, Lud Alls, Elijah Alls, Jerome Alls, West Staten, Joe Jamel Alls, Ann Pierce, Donald Carler, Lily Green, Nathan Green, Pat Bond, John Dewey, Ruth Beard, Tim Butler, Raymond Lord Newton, J.B. Foggy, Thomas Newton Sr., Barbara Naeem, Jeanette Sanders, J.C. Sanders, Roy Pruitt, H.J. Brantley Sr., Henry Wilson, Rufus Jenkins, Minnie Wilson, Kathy Sanders, Merle Ellis, Elizabeth Sanders, Henrietta Irby, Mildred Armstead, Margaret Armstead, Captain Anthony, Ruby Brown, Charles Walker Sr., Charlie Walker, Cecil Russell, Diane Urban, Howard Phillips, William Ford, Margaret Logan, Phyllis Barnett, B. Urban Sr., Margaret Urban, Ozetta Watson, Hugo Watson, John Carwell Sr., Robert Lee Carwell, Nevaeh Mitchell, Ron McCormick Sr., Sabrina Easley, Rashawn Easley, Javale McCormick, Barbara Ann Reed, Dorothy Ann Reed, John Reed, Shekamaha Reed Jr., John Reed Jr., Patricia Reed, Edward R. Benson Sr., Ethel H. McNair, Louis Fernandez, Jacqueline Broadus, Reginald Ira, Masmin Cofer, Joyce Swan, Imani Grayson, Charles Scott, Charles A. Scott, Michael Morgan, Charlene Morgan, Sybil Evans McNabb, Annie Ferguson, William Ferguson, Shelby McClendon. We have Joella Giles, James Carswell. We got Liberta Adams, also known as our sis. We got Elder Shaka McNair, Anthony Brown, Jonathan Ford, Lottie Gaucher, Cousin Tony, Michael Johnson, James Jimmy Johnson, Barbara Shang Lewis, Ronald Sheldon Jr., Damon Top, Westina Banks, Joseph Bingham, Quincy Mama, Aunt Lady, Abraham Isaac Cundiff, Aunt Barbara Lewis, Renee Johnson, Joy, Ryan Ross Riggins, Jamonte, Marcus Price, Ness Words, Marshawn McHale, Demetrius Beard, Herb Jepson, Ralph Mickens, Eric Walker, Quasi Sample, Candace Simmons, Severn Clayton. Got Leonard Jones, Sadi Garner, Melvin Scott Sr., got Elder Clarence Lunkin Sr. No, we got Elder Clarence Lunkin, got Elizabeth Johnson, we got Mr. Thorne, Johanna, Deshaunda Lynette Lewis, Henderson Mosley, Charles Jordan, Henry II, Fannie L. Webb, Dan Walton, Alauti Sue Walton, Emma Walton, James Randolph Giles, Sonny, Pete Walton, William Walton, Fred Powers, Elijah Juan, Hakeem and Como, Alberta T. Javis, Charles Davis, Willie R. Mackey, also known as Dr. Cream Mackey. We got Victor Bowden, Drusilla Kitty Berger, Lucy White, Robert Lee White, Emma Jean White, Talton, Roger White, R.L. White, Jesse White, Ruby Jewel White, John Shakar White, Desi Woods, Chilla Woods, Lennox. We got Jim Woods, Lizzie Woods, Juanita Alexander Brown, Cynthia Anthony Wright, Richard Dorsey, Andy Simpson, Jamal Simpson, Regina Hopkins, Joseph Simpson, Eddie Dorsey, Eleanor Hopkins, Edward Webster, Alice Webster, Ivy Webster, Arnella Willis, Ethel Lane, Samanda Damon, Ethel Marshall, Steve, Dougie Shelton, Got William Bill Walker, Carl Rico Johnson, Kim Grace, Stuart A. Johnson, Edward Young III, Isaac Jackson Sr., Drusilla Murrow, Wayne Young, Christina Young, Thomas Young, Frank Murrow, Charles A. Young. We got Sylvester Foster. We got James Lizzie Winston, Abe and Julia Lawrence. We got Ozell Leathers Sr., Gladys Coper, Ozell Leathers Jr., Geneva Jackson, R.J. Lacey, also known as Toot the Don. You got Saber Whiston, Chris Kinney, Margaret Mentor, Mary Smith, Juanette Florine Stith Gibbs, Carl William Duncan Jr., Janet Callahan, Danny Hill, Miko D. Nicey, Andre Martin, Mabel Williams. We got Terry Brown. We got Teresa Beno. We got LaVonna Kincaid, Carla Sawyer, Reverend Jesse Porter, Deacon Ezekiel Dennis, Brenda Porter, Craig Lee Jones, Granny Beulah, Papa Al Reese, Inez Smith, George Gamble Sr., Joseph Gale, LaShonda Jamar, Leroy Raleigh, Mona Yolanda Hunter, Yvonne Patrice Turner. We got Herman Reeves, Amanda Reeves, Josh Reeves, Lena Kate, Pam Johnson, Vera and Reese Fisher, Jerry Johnson McCallum, also known as Mama Moon. We got Sheila Ann Lee, Panchita Albert, Donna Brooks, Barbara Moses, Ida Spade, Ira Branson, Eric Winston, Dan Bringer, Francisco Matisse, also known as Sonny. We got Charles Stevenson Jr., King Pleasant, Sarah Keat, Lena Shepard, Brett L. Willen, Mabel Haskins, Wilbur Shepard, Dennis Jackson, William Haskins, Geraldine Jackson, Henry Jackson Sr., Edward Jones, Leslie Travis, Charlize Barnes, DeJuan Lewis Taylor, Madeline Yates, June Dandridge, Daisy Wilford, Frederick Smith, James and Amanda Baldwin, Linda Williams, Sally Williams, Vivian Stevenson, Irene Harris, Callie Williams, Abu Scales, Pat Williams, Mrs. Bertha Walker, Tony Ogletree, Grandma Marguerite, Tracy Emery, Hassan Abdul Razak, Vivian Johnson, B.J. Jones, Abishel, Roberto Monterosa, Chet Word, Mama Rahani, Deborah Michelle Nash, Joseph Lane Miller III, Runoko Rashidi, Bobby Battle, Fred Gasson, Tracy Gasson, Adora Gibson, Elder Simba, Brother Bashir, Tommy Hustle, also known as Tommy the Barber. Got Elder Phil Haynes, Amenta Brantley, Aunt Carol Walker Welsh, Carrie Ann Brooks, Jeremiah Williams, Tommy Smith, Antoinette Pinson, Juanita Mosley, Michelle Simons, Irene Johnson, Aunt Pauline, Nanny Baker, Ian Dabney, Quincy Yelder, Josiah Miller, Brother David Moore, Lisa Smith, Willie Thomas, Nevaeh Fitzgerald, and Odessa Bell. All right, so family, we lift up our glass. We salute all of our ancestors. And the only question I got to ask with this many ancestors backing us up, family, what's stopping us? Come on now. We're lifting up our glass and we salute our ancestors and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we move from the past to the now. We are in the now. We're lifting up our glass. We're toasting the now. And we know that we are responsible for the now. Our ancestors is handling the past. We are in the present. We are in the moment now, right? And the question I always ask is, what are you doing with your moments, family? Are you making the most out of your moments? Are you extending your space and time, our space and time, so that our children will have the room and the time to do what they need to do to build for our community? We lift up our glass and we salute this moment. And this moment, we are in the week of Kuumba. Man, in the year of Kuumba. In the cycle of Kuumba. Oh my God, this is the sixth cycle, right? In the cycle of Kuumba. So we lift up our glass, we salute, and we say, Ashe. Work that moment, y'all. We move from there, we move to our future. We toast our children, our children's children, on to infinity. I can't wait to see what they do, but I hope and pray that you're doing what you need to do so that they can do what they need to do. We lifting up our glass and we say, Ashe. From there, family, we're going to lift up our glass. Yes, we're going to lift up our glass. We're going to salute all of our relations, and we lift it up high, and we say, Ashe. From there, we're going to build. We're going to move into making a toast for those special causes. What is that special cause you want to make a toast to, family? Come on now. You know, it's out there. And also, we're going to lift up our glass for our family to get well, for those that may be sick and shut in and struggling. Elder Atiba, he's out the hospital, but he still has some pain. We want to send that energy. We want to send energy to Debbie Bowie. We want to send energy to Sister Yeye. We want to send energy to Brother Quasi. Anybody else in the circle, anybody in the close circle, an extended circle, if you are in need of that energy, it's here for you. We're lifting it up. And we say, Ashe. From there, we'll move to that selfish toast. Family. If you don't take care of you, how are you going to take care of the rest of us? You got to make sure that you have the energy. So I'm lifting my glass to you, and I'm going to ask you in this selfish toast, what is it that you need right now to move towards your higher self? Plugging into your higher self. What do you need? We lift it up, and we say, Ashe. And then now we want to lift up our tribe. Of course, you know my tribe is Gye-Nyame. What's your tribe? Come on now. We lifting it up. Saluting your tribe. Come on now. If you ain't got a tribe, you need to build one or you need to join one. We lifting it up and we say, Ashe. Now I want to toast the most magnificent, most beautiful, most uplifting, most inspired, the wisest, the bravest individual in the room. I want to lift my glass up to you for joining us for this time. May the energies work through and work with you. Feel what it is you're moving towards. We lift up our glass and we say Ashe. We open with the creator. We're going to end with the creator and one of our mythic relics. We're lifting up our phoenix egg. We're toasting and we say Ashe. 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 Family, we wish you peace, power, joy, and 100 years. Brother Hatim, I am out, and I want to thank you for your support. And of course, we are gone.
Mr. Diddy.